Hey up internet, and welcome back to On the Sofa Live. If you're new, do subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. This next story is from The Nerve. As Farage is investigated, did Boris Johnson also fail to disclose a gift from Christopher Harborne? Leaked documents appear to reveal a previously undeclared trip made by the former Prime Minister with the crypto and defense billionaire to the heart of war-torn Ukraine. Report by Carol Cadwallader and Charlie Young. Boris Johnson seemingly failed to disclose 2 flights aboard a private jet provided by crypto billionaire Christopher Harborne, the same political donor whose gift of £5 million to Nigel Farage is now the subject of a parliamentary inquiry The Nerve can reveal. The Nerve has seen leaked documents from Boris Johnson's private office that appear to show Harborne providing his $50 million private jet and pilot to Johnson for his personal use after he stepped down as Prime Minister. At the time, January 2023, Johnson was still the MP for Uxbridge, but there is no record of the flights in disclosures made in the register of members' interests, which I'm pretty sure is against the rules. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to disclose these things in the register of members' interests. Under parliamentary rules, all gifts, including travel and other expenses, must be disclosed. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. The new revelations put Boris Johnson in the frame for having potentially broken the same parliamentary rules as Farage, with a gift from the same donor. Yeah, this is dodgy as fuck. Neither he nor Harborne responded to questions from The Nerve, but Clive Lewis, Labour MP for Norwich South, and a former infantry officer who served in Afghanistan, said Harborne's relationship with both Farage and Johnson, including their financial ties, now had to be investigated as a matter of national security. There's a rat here and it stinks, he said. Yeah, he's right. It does stink.
The whole thing stinks like yesterday's diapers.
The flights in question date from January 2023, when the documents seen by The Nerve show Johnson flying to Poland as part of an onward trip to Ukraine to meet President Volodymyr Zelensky. Johnson should have declared all costs of the trip not borne by himself, but his schedule shows him flying on board Harborne's Dassault Falcon jet, flown by the billionaire's private pilot. In fact, none of the expenses from this trip were declared, including any provided by the Ukrainian government. The documents note that Johnson would be transferred from the UK state security to Ukraine's upon boarding the sleeper train from Przemysl in Poland to Kiev. The article goes on, and according to the documents, Johnson travelled with the man who had become his personal patron, Harborne. He not only provided the use of his jet to fly Johnson to Przemysl in Poland, but the schedule reveals Johnson transferring to the overnight sleeper to Kiev with CH. At the time, Harborne was the largest individual investor in Q, a UK military technology company. Although Harborne's fortune derives in large part from his stake in the cryptocurrency issuer Tether, his investment in Q and its connection to his relationship with Johnson has so far gone under the radar. Harborne began investing in the firm in early 2022. At the same time, he became friendly with Johnson, a relationship which took off when Harborne began donating significant sums to the Conservative Party. So Harborne has not only donated to Farage, he's also donated to the Conservative Party as well. And in my opinion, this all needs to be investigated. It needs to be investigated just how much money has been donated by Harborne to both Reform and the Conservative Party, and how much of it has gone undeclared. Because this is dodgy as fuck. Q, Britain's most advanced military testing lab, won new multi-million-pound contracts with the Ministry of Defence throughout 2022 as part of UK's efforts to support Ukraine. It is the only defence stock that Harborne has significant holding in. According to publicly available records, this just gets worse and worse. So he donated money to the Conservative Party, and they gave a company that he has shares in, Q, contracts, multi-million-pound contracts. That is really dodgy. That's corruption. That is corrupt. The Invisible Man. The Nerve has examined the reporting of the trip, official video and photographs released by Zelensky's office, and articles in the international press, including Johnson's own account in the Daily Mail, and has found no mention of Harborne or photographs of Harborne on the trip. Neither Johnson or Harborne would answer the Nerve's questions about the political donor and defence investor was on the trip, whether it was related to his holding in Q, or why Johnson failed to disclose the use of his private jet to Parliament, especially given he had previously declared the £1 million gift from Harborne. It also raises the question whether Boris Johnson failed to disclose specific other personal gifts from Harborne or other individuals. Yeah, exactly. This needs to be investigated. Harborne, through his lawyers, Shillings, threatened defamation proceedings against the Nerve, but would not identify any defamatory statements or erroneous information in the evidence we supplied. He has previously filed a defamation claim against the Wall Street Journal for its reporting on his ownership of Tether, and in the UK against Ben Habib, the former deputy leader of Reform. Habib's claim relates to his allegations that Harborne paid both Farage and Johnson to strike a deal in the 2019 general election, to stand down the Brexit Party's candidates. The Nerve has conducted its own investigation into that claim. Yeah, that's dodgy as fuck as well, if true. Unbelievable. The amount of corruption. Jesus Christ. Another trip that Johnson and Harborne took to Kiev is already public. A previous report in The Guardian revealed Johnson and Harborne travelled to Ukraine together in September 2023, But that trip was after Johnson had stepped down as an MP, when he was no longer bound by parliamentary rules. The new details uncovered by the Nerve are in the set of 1,820 leaked documents from Johnson's private office known as the Boris Files, first published by the website Distributed Denial of Secrets, but previously overlooked and underreported. Yeah, this is really interesting. Really interesting. This is dodgy. This is really dodgy stuff. Really corrupt. There's a lot of corruption going on here, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. And please do me a favor and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And do leave a comment, because that would really help me out with the algorithm. Okay, bye for now.